Hi guys, it's Vicky here from Tinker Tales. I hope you're having a magical day. I have finally found some time to sit down and film a new Walt Disney World planning video. Feels like ages since I've done one of these. Basically, I've just been really busy with work and doing lots and lots of overtime. Hashtag the things we do for Florida. Just so I can be able to afford to go to Florida. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking all about FastPass Plus. Now, FastPass Plus can get quite confusing. I know when I first started going to Florida, when it switched over from the old FastPass system, it took me a while to get the hang of it, but it is really, really simple. I'm going to do my best to explain it in the simplest terms possible so that you get a real good understanding of how it works and the best ways to utilise it to your advantage to make the most out of your time that you've got in Florida, because every minute in Florida is precious. I'm hoping I don't confuse you even more, because I know that when I've been going through this in my head, I've been confusing myself. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that I don't confuse you even more. But let's get going with all about FastPass Plus. So if you don't know what a FastPass is, a FastPass allows you to enter the FastPass queue line of a ride or attraction. So it means that you don't have to stand in the long standby queue. It will give you the chance to get on your attraction with minimal to no wait. So you may still have a queue, there may still be a bit of a queue, but it should in theory be significantly less than the standby queue line. It also works for certain parades and fireworks, which means that you get a preferred viewing area. You'll get a good viewing spot without having to stake out your place for like an hour or an hour and a half before. So worthwhile doing. Now, the FastPass system changed. It did used to be the old paper FastPass system. So if you went to Walt Disney World years ago, you might remember it. If you've been to Disneyland Paris recently or Disneyland California, that's the old FastPass system. So you'd go up to your chosen ride that you wanted to get a FastPass for, you'd stick in your park ticket and it would spit you out another little ticket, which would give you your FastPass return time. Now, that system was great. It is great. It's, you know, it's good enough, but it does mean you can only have one FastPass at a time. So if you're in the park at 10 o'clock in the morning, you go and get a FastPass for a ride that is already up to 4 o'clock in the afternoon return time, it does mean that you then can't use any other FastPasses until that time has rolled around. The FastPass Plus system at Walt Disney World means that you can pre-book up to 3 FastPass attractions, 3, in advance of you actually getting there. So if you are staying on Walt Disney World property, you can pre-book your FastPasses up to 60 days in advance. It's quite a long time. If you're staying off Walt Disney World property, but you already have your Disney park tickets booked, you can book your FastPasses up to 30 days in advance. Now, I will warn you, because we've been tripped up by this before, if you have booked a package holiday, say through Virgin or Thompson or Thomas Cook or anywhere like that, sometimes even though you are staying on Walt Disney World property, they don't release your ticket information until 30 days prior to departure. So we had that last time when we travelled with Virgin. Even though we were staying in All Star Music, which is a Disney resort, they did not release our ticket information until 30 days in advance. So we couldn't take the advantage of that 60 days, if you get what I'm saying. It was a little bit annoying, but what can you do? So the way to book your FastPass Plus attractions is, of course, on the My Disney Experience app. I've spoken about this in my last Walt Disney World Planning vlog. It is a definite must-have if you are going to Walt Disney World. You need to download it onto your phone. You can get it on the App Store. It's on Android, iPhone. You can also access it online, just www.mydisneyexperience.com. Create an account and it allows you to do your advanced dining reservations and your FastPass Plus. Now, like I said, there are many different things you can use your FastPasses for. You can use them on certain rides, certain shows, certain fireworks, and some parades, I believe. I think that might have changed now. So what I'm going to do is go through each park and let you know what attractions it is that you can use your FastPasses for, and also explain the tier system, because certain parks have a tier system, which is where it gets a little bit more complicated. So I'm going to start with the simplest one, which is Magic Kingdom. Now, I have to get my list here because I haven't got that great a memory. So the attractions that you can use your FastPass Pluses for in the Magic Kingdom are Ariel's Grotto, Enchanted Tales with Belle. I'd recommend using it for that. It's a Small World, Mad Tea Party, Mickey's PhilharMagic, Princess Meet and Greets as well. I didn't mention Meet and Greets. So you can use it to do the 2 Fairy Tale Hall Princess Meet and Greets. Peter Pan's Flight, again, would recommend it. The Barnstormer, Under the Sea, Journey of the Little Mermaid. Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh, Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, Dumbo the Flying Elephants, Pirates of the Caribbean, Jungle Cruise, The Magic Carpets of Aladdin, Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, Splash Mountain, my favourite, Haunted Mansion, Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor, Tomorrowland Speedway, Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin, Space Mountain. And you can also use it on the meet and greets for Mickey Mouse and Tinkerbell in the town hall. So on Main Street, just as you go into the park. So quite a lot you can use it for in the Magic Kingdom. Not all rides, not all attractions, but quite a lot. There did used to be an option for fireworks viewing, but they've since got rid of that. So that is everything you can book at the Magic Kingdom. Not absolutely every ride and attraction, but the vast majority. And with the Magic Kingdom, there is no tier system. You can book any 3 attractions that you like. So we're going to move on now to Epcot, and this is where it starts to get a little bit more complicated. So with Epcot, they have a tier system. So tier 1 is going to be obviously the more popular rides. So in tier 1 you have Soarin', Test Track, Frozen Ever After, and Illuminations Reflection of Earth, which is the Epcot fireworks show. So those are all classed as a tier 1. In tier 2 you have Journey into the Imagination with Figment. Love that ride. Do love Figment. You have the Epcot character spot, which is a great character meet and greet because you do 4 characters in one go. So you move from Mickey to Minnie to Pluto to Goofy, or Donald to Goofy. They vary, but really, really good character spot. Well worth doing a FastPass for. Living with the Land, Mission Space, Spaceship Earth, I'm getting confused, Turtle Talk with Crush, The Seas with Nemo and Friends, and the Disney Pixar Short Film Festival, which is where Honey, I Shrunk the Audience and Captain EO used to be. It's kind of like a little 4D film experience. So when you are booking your FastPass selections for Epcot, you can only book 1 from the tier 1. So out of those 4 tier 1 attractions that I've spoken about, you can only choose 1 of them. The others must be from tier 2. Now I do believe if you want to, you can book all 3 FastPass selections from tier 2, but I'm not 100% sure about that. What I am 100% sure of is you can only have 1 from tier 1. And that is the same at Hollywood Studios. So in tier 1 at Hollywood Studios, now these are all subject to change. So currently on the day of filming this, tier 1 is Beauty and the Beast, Fantasmic, Rock and Roller Coaster, and Toy Story Midway Mania. Now, this is going to change very, very soon. So if you are looking at this video after Toy Story Land has opened, which is on June, it's at the end of June sometime. So if you are looking at this video post Toy Story Land opening, it has changed. And tier 1 will only be Toy Story Midway Mania, Slinky Dog Dash, and the Alien Swirling Saucers. So basically everything in Toy Story Land becomes a tier 1. Everything that was originally tier 1, apart from Toy Story Midway Mania, becomes tier 2. Do you get me? You're following? You're following me? I hope you are. It is confusing. So yeah, that's how it's working at Hollywood Studios. And in tier 2, currently you have Disney Junior Live on Stage, Indiana Jones Stunt Spectacular, for the first time in forever, which is the Frozen Sing-Along, Muppet Vision 3D, Star Tours, The Twilight Zone Tower of Terror, and Voyage of the Little Mermaid. There are currently your tier 2s. They will be joined very shortly by Beauty and the Beast, Fantasmic, Rock and Roller Coaster. Yeah, them. So they will be coming tier 2 after Toy Story Land opens. So it's the same system as in Epcot. When you're booking at your FastPass Plus selections, you can only have 1 from tier 1 and 2 from tier 2 to make your 3. Again, you may be able to book all 3 from tier 2 if you so wish. I'm not 100% sure. Must be 1 from tier 1, 2 from tier 2. Now at Animal Kingdom, it's pretty obvious to get what the tier 1 rides are. Currently there are only 2, and it is the rides in Pandora, the world of Avatar. So you've got the Flights of Passage and the Navi River Journey. Those are your 2 tier 1 rides at Animal Kingdom. On tier 2 you have, cannot read my writing. On tier 2 you have Up, which is the Great Bird Adventure, formerly Flights of Wonder, Festival of the Lion King, Dinosaur, Expedition Everest, Finding Nemo the Musical, Cardi River Rapids, It's Tough to Be a Bug, Kilimanjaro Safaris, the Adventurous Outpost, which is character meet and greet spot, Primeval World, and the Rivers of Light show. So that is how it's working in Animal Kingdom at the moment. You can only book one of those Pandora rides in your FastPass selection for your day. So the other 2 must be from tier 2. Now I'm going to come on to a couple of hints and tips about really utilising the FastPass Plus system. So especially when it comes to the tier systems, if you can only do one of the Pandora rides a day pre-booked on your FastPass, I would recommend rope dropping the other one. If you don't know what rope drop is, it basically means getting there for as soon as the park opens, and you'll be guided along by a little rope with some cast members until park is open. They will then drop that rope and you're free to go and try and get to that ride. If you rope drop, you can get on some really good attractions without the need for FastPass and with fewer wait times. So I definitely recommend it a couple of days. Don't do it every day, by all means, you will be knackered, but a couple of days out of your trip doing a rope drop, and that way you will get some of these really good rides, really hard to get FastPass rides, done with a minimum wait time. Another thing to consider when booking your FastPasses is the times that you are booking them for. So when you book your 3 FastPasses, once you've used those 3 FastPasses on the day, you can then go and get another FastPass. So you can only get one at a time afterwards. So you get your first 3 initial FastPasses. Once those have all gone, you can then go and get another one. Once that one is gone, you go and get another one. When that one's gone, you go get another one. I can't lift that finger. But yeah, so you can really use a lot of FastPasses in a day if you plan it properly. It's really important to think about when you're booking your FastPasses for. Because if your last FastPass isn't until 6 o'clock in the evening, it means that you can't use any more FastPasses until that one has rolled around. Very similar to how the old system was. So I would always recommend, if you're planning on rope dropping a park, leave that first hour or so, hour and a half, when park opens free, because you'll be able to get loads of good attractions done while the park is still quiet. Maybe start your FastPasses from sort of 11, 11:30. Use them all by maybe 1, 2, and then you can go and get more. And then when that one's done, you go and get another one. And then when that one's done, you go and get another one. And the way to do that is either on the My Disney Experience app or visiting one of the FastPass Plus kiosks, which are dotted around the parks. And you can just keep rolling around on FastPasses, because quite a lot of rides will have FastPasses available, especially if you're going during a quieter season, during a weekday. You will be able to get FastPasses on the day for quite a few attractions. So it's really, really good to get your FastPass Plus selections done in the morning, and then just keep on rolling over to new FastPasses throughout the day. Obviously, if you really want a good spot for Illuminations or Phantasmic, you want to pre-book those. That does mean that obviously that FastPass is going to be the last FastPass of the day. You won't be able to get any new ones during the day, but hey, it's worth it to get a really good spot for those fireworks shows. So meh, pros, cons, pros. It's all good. Some rides are harder to get FastPasses for than others. The Pandora rides in particular at the moment, if you are not able to book them on that 60-day mark, they are very hard to get. So, you know, unless someone cancels them, it's one of those ones you're just going to need to keep checking the app, because obviously people might cancel them, and then you can pick one up. Frozen Ever After over at Epcot, Soarin', Test Track, they're all rides I would really, really recommend getting a FastPass for, because they are, again, difficult ones to get. Very, very busy rides. And Seven Dwarfs Mine Train over at the Magic Kingdom is still, however many years it's been open now, is still a really, really popular ride. You know, FastPasses do sell out of that one quite quickly, and it always has a really long queue, which I personally don't get, but I'm going to be talking about that in another video coming up very soon. And of course, when the rides open in Toy Story Land, they are going to be very, very busy. So you might want to consider getting at least one FastPass for one of those rides. I would probably recommend Slinky Dog Dash, because that looks awesome, and rope dropping the others, because that is going to be a very, very busy area for a very long time when that opens. One of the perks of staying on a Walt Disney World resort is extra magic hours. Now these are great. It's when a park or a couple of parks on a morning will be open an hour or so before general opening, and they will stay open an hour or 2 or 3 hours after general opening. So these are a really great way to get those must-do rides done without using a FastPass, because the FastPass system is not available during extra magic hours. But because the park levels will be a lot lower because it's only resort guests, it is a great time to get some of those otherwise really busy attractions done with a slightly shorter wait. The same goes for the parties. If you're going to Mickey's Not So Scary or Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party, there are no fast passes available during that time, because again it is a capped crowd level, so only so many people will be in the park at that time. And to be honest, if you're doing rides during these parties, you're doing them all wrong. There's so much other stuff to be doing other than rides during these parties. Use those to get those character meet and greets and those treats. Obviously 1 or 2 rides should be done, but that shouldn't be what those parties are about, because the ride times will be a lot less, because most people were doing the parades and the character meet and greets and getting all the treats. So good times. So that is about it for this video about FastPass Plus. I really hope I've helped and I've not confused you and your brain's not just gone poof, because it might have done. I might have just made this far more confusing and complicated. So if I have, I'm really sorry. If you do have any questions about FastPass Plus or anything to do with Walt Disney World or Disneyland Paris planning, feel free to comment down below. I will get back to you. I will answer all your questions, or you can tweet me at Tinker_Tales. If you have liked this video, if I've not confused you, if you found it helpful, give me a thumbs up. It's down here. And please feel free to subscribe to my Diddy little channel. Love to have you along for the ride. Loads more stuff coming up. Hit that little bell button and you will never miss out when I upload a new video. But I hope you have a magical day, and I will see you on the next one. Bye!